What are you wearing?
A Canadian tuxedo.
Canadian.
I'm a hockey player. Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
Let's go Blues.
To all you Blues fans, we're bleeding blue with you.
Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues. Let's go Blues.
Presented by Scott Credit Union, your St. Louis Blues.
Well, that was weird. My froze, and you didn't get to hear the BlueNote Spooky Fan Report. Aloha, mahalo, happy Halloween. I know Ashley will not be here today because she's a witch. And I mean that in a good way. The fall and Halloween's one of her favorite holidays. I'm pretty sure I'm told it's freezing in St. Louis, but she might be out. No, the game is tomorrow, but what the hell? I'm here anyways. Jason Nichols asked for a show, even though he's not here, and I decided to give him one. So John Hector, Jose, Marianne. Thank you for all that you are. Got a couple of things to talk about. Some interesting things have happened over the past couple of weekends. There was one serious thing we need to talk about, and I really need to think about how I want to address this, because I have a couple of different opinions on this, right? In St. Louis, there was a road, and I can't remember which one it was. It was in South County, and I want to say it might have been Lee May Ferry, or it was one of those deep in South County. I think it's since been, but it used to. There were accident upon accident upon accident on this road, and people were killed pretty regularly. It ran along, north and south along the river. I remember this. I drove it one time. I don't remember. I want to say that it was like the last exit before you get off, and I forget the name of that road now. But at one time, it was extremely, extremely dangerous, right? Okay, Marianne says she knows what I'm talking about. E's here. Just passing Hammond, 10 hours to go. John's on his way to St. Louis. I thought he'd already be there. John, I thought you'd already be there, bud. I thought you'd already be there. Military Road. No, it wasn't Military Road. God, it had a different name. I absolutely forget what it was. I know. I mean, it was super dangerous, and it was in South County. Oh, Lana got sick. Well, I hope you feel better. Long drive. You be safe, John. But so what I was getting back. No, actually, this one I'm thinking of is more down south, like right off 270. It was either like Lee May Ferry or Tesson Ferry or one of those. But as you went further south, it got like extremely dangerous, right? It might have been Tesson Ferry. I just can't completely remember. I know over the years they fixed it, but you rarely heard about it unless there was an accident, right? When there was an accident for a week or so, oh my God, that road's dangerous. You got to fix it. And then you wouldn't hear anything until the next accident, right? I actually think I think one of my classmates lost her son on that road. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was something along those lines. Well, this thing that happened in England this weekend, unfortunately, is one of those things. Now, what happened is not completely unprecedented. The results are somewhat unprecedented. But the accident in and of itself has happened before. Not all the time, but it has happened. Normally, it happens to goalies. This is the first time that it didn't happen to a goalie, or one of the first times that I can think of that it didn't happen to a goalie. If you don't know what I'm talking about, there was a former Pittsburgh Penguin who was playing hockey in a league in England, and during a freak accident, somebody's skate came up and caught him in the throat and basically severed his carotid artery. He died, from what I understand, and I'm not completely sure, he died in the hospital later that night. That when it happened, there was a lot going out about it. And there was a website, and I won't say which one, that actually announced his death before the family found out. And a group that I connected to, someone posted that, and I said, hey, we can't put this out yet until we get a confirmation. And luckily we didn't, because, and it did get confirmed about an hour and a half, 2 hours after I said that. But I mean, there's got to be some for example, and I think if I could get his name right, it's slipping my mind. I know a couple of you out there are IndyCar fans or race car fans. There was a guy that won. Well, that's what I'm getting at. It's selective outrage. Okay? Right now, there is this outrage and this call for these neck protectors to be worn, to be mandatory. Well, you know what? They've been out there for a while, and, until an accident happens, nobody cares. It's once an accident happened, there's selective outrage. If this was something that happened regularly, I would understand it. Oh, thank you, Dan Weldon. Yeah, that's who I was thinking about. Dan Weldon was the driver, right? They knew that with Dan Weldon, they knew that he had passed after the accident, and they announced nothing until they got his body to the hospital, got his family there, and had his family going to see him, and then they announced it. They made sure that his family heard it, seen it and heard it and nobody else. That's what I'm kind of getting at with that. But my thing is, it's a selective outrage, right? All of a sudden, there's this huge call that, well, we've got to wear these. And I've even heard that they want to bring that people, some people have said that they need the guy that caused the accident, or the guy whose skate caused this, should be put on charges for manslaughter. Now, I don't know all of the stuff, and I've heard he tripped or he fell or something and his skate came up high. I don't know everything, but there is an assumed risk when you're playing this game, right? There is an assumed risk. I don't understand, and I'm getting this term from one of Jose's counterparts here, Chris Rock. He used this phrase a lot in his special, the selective outrage, and that's what I'm getting at. Why all of a sudden is there this huge outrage when it wasn't there before? Right? Wow, no one watching today. I'm doing great. But for those of you who are watching, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate it. Maybe I'm in E-War 1 when he played goalie as a hockey. Okay. Yeah, I already dimed you out, Jason. I dimed you out earlier. I just, for me, look, my heart goes out to the family of this man. It absolutely does. Right? It absolutely does. But there's an assumed risk. Right? It's just like my heart goes out to every single soldier that gets, killed in battle. There's an assumed risk. My heart goes out to their family, but there's an assumed risk. I knew every single time I got underway, I might not come back. I knew that. Every single time. It didn't matter if we were going out for a day or for 6 to 7 months. It didn't matter. If we were going out, I knew that there was an assumed risk. Accidents happen. I've had people get seriously injured in ships. Luckily, no one on a ship that I was on died while I was on it, but I had guys die afterwards. Yeah, it's the same thing. There's an assumed risk, right? The blades that these guys are skating on, it's not like the old skates. It's not like the skates I have. They are skating on razor thin blades that allow them to make the moves that we ooh and ah about. Right? Oh, there was a trip. That should have been called. It did. Yeah, that was an absolute trip. I got the LA-Toronto game on. LA's up 2-0 with 11:55 to go in the second. That was an absolute trip. Why are you doing, when you're throwing your hands up like that, you got to know. You got to know you screwed up. Man, I don't know how long I can do a show today, guys. I'm here for Jason, and I'll do my best, Jason. Just when it's just me talking and nobody else really getting in there, it's really hard. Right? And when it's just one or two people. We got the contest coming up starting tomorrow. Secret word, and this is on me. I haven't promoted it enough. I need to really, really promote it and try and do some stuff, but I've been dealing with some personal issues, but that's neither here nor there. Right? It's one of those things. I don't know why she does that. Sorry, guys. Guys got to help me out here. All right? I was listening to Neil Tyson deGrasse, the scientist. I think I'm saying his name right. And he talked about, when you ice skate, you're not actually cutting the ice, you're melting the ice. And the blades of the skate do not touch the ice. They glide along water. Right? And that's what the sharp blades are for. They're melting the ice. Right? That's the purpose of them. I'm not pulling the plug unless we're 4-20 come December. I'm holding out hope. I think Kevin Hayes is going to do much once he figures out with his new teammates. We'll see. Let's hope for the best. Love you, guy. My hope for the best is gone. Right? And the reason it's gone, I see everybody. We got to be positive. Remember 19. Remember 19. This is not 19. We're not even nowhere near 19. 19, there was a really big issue in the locker room. And even when they let go of the coach and got a new one, it stayed for another month or more before things started to work out. The players that we had on that team were defensive players in an offensive situation that had a lot of things going on for it. Now we have the exact opposite. We have offensive players in a defensive system. That is exactly what's going on. You have a bunch of now offensive players in a defensive system. I don't know how you fix this unless you do the thing that nobody wants to do because, oh my God, he won us the cup. We can't get rid of him. We owe him that because he brought us the cup. Right? Instead, what we'll do is we'll blame everybody else. We'll blame the players for not playing within the system. We'll blame the GM for not giving this guy the players that he wants. We'll blame the fans who are negative and are saying that things are wrong. We'll blame everybody but the guy responsible. We have played 7 games so far. I think that's correct. We are, yes, 7 games. 3-3-1. Of those 7 games, how many really good games have we had? How many really bad games have we had? I can look at that and say that we've had one really, really good game. Jason, you can take those pieces and put them anywhere you want. Until you change the system that's not working, nothing that you do is going to work. Absolutely, I do. They had an excellent opportunity in the offseason to address all of this. And the problem is staring everybody in the face, yet nobody wants to say that that's the problem. They want to blame something else. And I'm not talking about Berube here. This team, not last year, year before last, scored 109 points. Was one of the top teams in the league. And dropped to 81 points last year. You know what? Again, the more qualified, see, that's the thing. What do you mean by more qualified? Right? Because you can sit there, there's a bunch of coaches that haven't won a cup that I think would be better for this team. You need a coach that understands that this is an offensive game. And to get this team on an offensive system that doesn't go down and give the puck up right away and give up 80 attempts. Last season, we blamed everything but what the problem was. You blamed the defense. You blamed Bennington. You blamed power play. You blamed the penalty kill. Right now, I would make Ott the coach. I think Ott would be the better coach. I think Ott understands that there needs to be an offensive system, and even though he played defense, he has coached some of the offense, and I think that you need someone to do offense. Because we don't have the players Florida had. We've got good players, but we have a system He was a forward, but he was a defensive forward. He was a fourth line guy. He was a bruiser more or less. He was kind of a pest. If I remember that right, about Ott was more of that type of player, defensive forward more or less. That's what I meant by that, Jose. Look, Mike, I get it. I know that you want to be. Look at what we saw. Look at what we saw in the first 7 games. Right? Is the defense playing better? That is the number one thing. If you were to ask people in the league, around the league, fans, what is the number one thing the Blues need to fix? Their number one concern. They said defense, goaltending, special or penalty kill, power play, offense. That's the way they looked at it, 1 to 5. Problem is, that's reversed. That's reversed. You fix your offense this season. The defense. You fix the defense. For the most part, the defense has been good. I believe it's a coaching system. I believe that the system doesn't put the players in the best spot. There's some on the players, yes, but I think right now that God, see, this gets me. I want to just you know, so here's my question, Jose. Would you have rather kept O'Reilly, Tarasenko, and Barbashev and let Thomas and Kyrou go in free agency? All right. Would you have let those 23 and 24-year-olds go in free agency and sign the 32 and 33-year-old and 30-year-old Barbashev, Tarasenko, and O'Reilly? All right. No, but if I had to have re-signed anyone we traded, it would have been 49. Okay, but in order to sign him, you would have had to let Thomas or Kyrou go. You absolutely would have let one of them two go. Right? Same comments and crying about Backus. Yeah. Have something I'll say. I think Varna is on the trade block. Why do you scratch a player who's second on your team in overall scoring and dress 7 defense? Because Varna wasn't playing enough defense. Because Varna wasn't playing defense good enough. That's exactly why. That's exactly what that's what Berube hinted at. That's what Varna in his comments to the press basically said. That's why he was scratched, because he's not playing good enough defense. Oh, wow. LA's up 3-0. Go, LA. LA. Got the Predators at the Canucks later tonight. I think that's about 4 my time. Something like that. Yeah. Around there. Tomorrow's game is a little bit later. I think it's at 7:30. Let me double check this. 8:30 Central, or 8:30 Central Standard Time. So I'll be on a half hour before that one. Is that a TNT game? Yes. It is the TNT game tomorrow. So it could start a little late. I'm the only pregame tomorrow. Right? Has a solid farm system players coming up soon and in development phase that he's willing to let the current contract expire, and hopefully the team is able to make a rebound from last season. Problem is, the only contracts you have expiring are Varna and Kapanen. Hope I'm saying that right, Varna. Right? That's the only thing that you have expiring. Hold on. Holding. So your free agents, actually you have 4. You have 4 free agents next season. 5. Make that 5. I'm sorry. 6. So your free agents are Kapanen, Varna, Blaze, Sundqvist, Scandella, and Bortuzzo. Two of them are tradable. Maybe 3. Right? Maybe 3. Yeah, that's why I don't think that we're going to have a chance at winning that game. They are going to come after whoever the goaltender is. I really hope that they don't put Bennington in. I really do. I hope they don't put Bennington in. I know they will, but I would like them to start Hoffer. They're not going to. It's what it is. Anthony! Hey, buddy, how you doing, man? How you doing today, bud? I don't, the shakeup and all that, until you're seeing, look at the offense. You're seeing basically the exact same offense that we're seeing last season. My mama. I got it from my mama. Well, here's the thing, right? And the reason I say that, Anthony, I know it sounds weird. Well, first of all, personal reasons. Benner's my fantasy goalie, and I can't afford him to take another shellacking like he took in Vancouver. And second, he's been your brightest spot. Do you want to take the chance of him getting shelled again and just saying, fuck it, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm just going to go out there and play mediocre. Right? I don't want him. I don't want that to happen to him. Right? I think the way they play, that's just kind of my thought process. It could be wrong. Okay, here's the thing, Jose. here's the thing. It's not just the last game. What about the game against Winnipeg? That game against Winnipeg where we got blown out. Right? We're playing better defensively. Absolutely. And Benner has been fantastic. I don't think Bennington has let up one goal yet this season that you can say he should have had that one. Not one. Agreed. They haven't really hung out the goaltender to dry. I agree. So, you've fixed your defense and your goaltending's better. Yeah, but you go back. The score may not have said we got blown up, but we were outplayed the entire game. I think the closest it got was 3-1. Right? I think that's the closest it got. Wasn't it 3-1? I don't think it got within one goal. I'd have to go back and look. In fact, I can do that here real quick. When was the Winnipeg game? Was that one of the 11? Yeah, it was one of the 11. No, it wasn't. No, back here. So let me go to the game summary on that. I'm double checking it. So it was 2-1 with Buchnevich getting that late power play goal in the second period. Right? It was 0-0 after one. They got two quick goals in the second period. At the end of the second, Buchnevich got one to make it 2-1. Connor scored to make it 3-1. And then Thomas got one at the 16:37, which was even strength goal with the goaltender pulled. And then the Winnipeg gets the empty net at the 18:50. Well, score-wise, but I just feel like we were blown out of that game. I don't feel like we were ever competitive in the game. No, it was 0-0 after the first. They scored the two. It was 0-0 after the first. I'm looking at the score sheet right here. Right? So, and didn't we get outshot like really bad in that game? Shots were 30-20. I think attempts were like astronomical. Let me look real quick. All right. Let me go look at the event summary. So Winnipeg had 30, 40, 59 attempts to the Blues 39. Almost doubled up our attempts. Right? Almost doubled up our attempts. Yeah, we'll beat the Sharks. I think a Pee Wee team could beat the Sharks right now. Kings, I think we'll lose to, and the Ducks could be a close game. That could go to overtime. Right? Wish you guys were making a jump over here to Hawaii, bud. We gave up 2 goals in a matter of a minute. Yeah. I kind of remember that. I just felt like we were completely outplayed in that game. Like, in the first period, wasn't that was another one of those first periods. Well, I mean, we held them on shots. Shots were 8-6. Second period, the shots were 14-10. And in the third period, where you got one of your goals, you only took 4 shots. So when you're down and you take maybe ban them. I like that. I don't know, man. I get where you say it was score-wise, but I just felt like they were outplayed the entire game. Funny, funny, funny. How you doing, Russ? Heart goes out to you, my friend. Always will. Always will. I hope you're feeling better. I hope you're doing better. So it's we're through 2 in LA, and Kings are up 3-0 on the Maple Leafs. Man, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you're doing it, bud. Don't know how you're doing it. I agree this defense, again, I agree. Defensively, this team is improved over last season. Absolutely. Goaltending has been extremely better. It wasn't bad last season, even though so many people think it was. What's our record? What's our record? It's the exact same it was you finished the season with. So maybe that wasn't the issue. That's what I'm getting at. Right? This team does not, I mean, if you could go look at the shots by period, it is bad. I mean, you look at that last game that we played where we just got destroyed. They had 3 shots in the first. They had 11 in the second and 8 in the third. Being blown out 5-0, they were outshot 35-22. I would agree with that. That has something to do with it. I think that has more to do with it. Man, I'm burning up in here for some reason. I mean, they have a new defensive system. They're being more responsibly defensive, but they didn't do anything with the offense. Our offense is worse this year. It's worse. How many goals? Here's my question. How many goals have the St. Louis Blues scored this season? And how many points have they scored? Right? Overall points. What's their total points? And I have a reason for asking this. All right? I have an absolute positive reason for asking this. All right? How do you know how many goals the St. Louis Blues have scored this season? Anybody out there know? I'm trying to find the right thing here. I can't seem to find what I want. Can never find what you want when you need to find it. All right. Let me see. It's 87 degrees here, and I'm in a brick room. Last season when we won 3 and then lost, we lost 8 in a row, then won 7 in a row. Back to our goal. 55 is playing better. Yes, he is. I think he's healthy for the first time. We're expected to play the best we can with the guys we have. That was the expectation laid out to us in the offseason. We're retooling, and if we do better, great. If not, we're not spending on free agency. We got guys coming up soon. You're telling me that we don't have the players that could be good offensively? Jose, you have two guys on this team that are point per player games or better. You have a guy on this team that is that could be a 40 goal scorer. He's already scored 30. You have guys on this team that have scored 20 goals in this league recently. Right? So that's not a true statement, bud. It's not a true statement. And just so you know, the Blues have scored 13 goals. 13 goals. The Blues have 13 goals this season. Right? I'm trying to pull something up here. The top two goal scorers in the league right now have scored more goals than the Blues have combined. Combined. The top two players have scored more. Do you? I got to ask this, Jose. I mean, I understand your optimism. I get it. I really do. But do you think this is a better than 500 team? Do you think this team is better than 500? Right? That's kind of the question I'm throwing out there. Is this better than a 500 team? Okay, so you think we're better than a 500 team? Um, uh, here's our schedule for the month of November. Okay, here's our schedule coming up. This is our schedule for the month of November. Colorado, the Devils, the Canadians, the Jets, Arizona, Colorado, Tampa Bay, Sharks, Kings, Ducks, Arizona, Nashville, Blackhawks, Wild, Buffalo. Do you know how many wins I see out of that? I don't see better than 500 out of that. All right? I don't. I think we're in the bottom 10 again. I can't see us. Everyone thought the Jets were going to be a bad team this year. The Jets blew us out without even, trying. Arizona blew us out. Arizona made us look bad. That was the other game I was thinking of. The game that I think we got blown out in. Right? We lost 6-2 to Arizona. Right? Our games this season, we lost 2-1 in a shootout to Dallas, 2-1 in a shootout to Seattle, won 2-1 in a shootout against Seattle, lost 6-2 to Arizona, beat Pittsburgh 4-2. That was actually a decent game. Lost 4-2 to Winnipeg, destroyed Calgary, who's right now in a worse situation than we are, and then lost 5-0 to Vancouver. I don't see the good, and I want to, but I can't. Right? Offense will come. That's a fair statement. Well, I mean, Kairu's been a 30-plus goal scorer. Bush, Thomas, Saad, Shin have all been 20-plus goal scorers. All have been. When they were in a offensive system that allowed them to play like that. Now they're in a defensive first system that doesn't allow them to play like that. They don't take the puck in deep. First of all, when they take the puck in, they're standing still at the blue line. They always come in on the wings, never down the center. They stop at the top of the circle, and then they try and pass through traffic, not around traffic, through traffic, and give the puck up without getting a shot off. And if they do get a shot off, it either A, completely misses the net, or B, it hits the goaltender and goes back the other way. Either one and done. They haven't got on a lot of cycles. Right? Well, supposedly we had Vancouver's number. Until you change the offensive mindset of this team, you are not going to go anywhere. Until you change the offensive mindset of this team, you're not going anywhere. Right? When you have a guy like Varner that's supposed to be a 20-goal scorer getting yelled at because he's not playing in good enough defense, when that's not your problem. Oh, by the way, so Joe Thornton retired from the NHL, and Adam Wainwright also retired from the MLB. Did you see the reason why Adam Wainwright retired from the MLB? It's got to be the best reason a player has ever given for retiring from the league. Right? Wow, man. 2.5 minutes. He retired because he got a puppy. I got a puppy. Oh my goodness, I just had to laugh. Jose, did you think that the defense last season was a problem? Did you think the defense last season was the problem? Right? I'm trying to remember. I think last season, 7 games in, we were 3-4. We were in the midst of our 8-game losing streak. Right? And I don't think well, see, here's the thing, Jose. How much of that defense was based off the offense? Right? The offense going down, being one and done. Right? Stopping at the blue line, giving the puck up, and allowing the other team to come on an odd man break. Those same things are still happening. You fixed your defense and you have basically the same damn record. You haven't gotten any better. That's what I'm trying to get at. In hockey, and I know I've said this so many times, your defense is more connected to your offense than you know. If you are keeping the puck in the offensive zone, you are preventing them from scoring. It is your best defense. In fact, I love it. I heard, I was watching a thing on Netflix today. I think Morgan Freeman is narrating it about life on Earth, and he's talking about in the dinosaur period. And he goes, sometimes the best defense is a good offense, talking about Triceratops with its horns. Hockey's the same way. Had the team played better offense, would have a lot of that happened. That's what I think I'm getting at. Right? Had the team played better offense last season, would a lot of those defensive blunders have happened? That's what I'm getting at. I think that the defense covered up for a poor offense and took the blame for the poor offense. Right? That's how I feel about it. Wow, Jose, you made me go almost to an hour. Way to go, bud. I didn't think I was going to even get 10 minutes tonight. Didn't think I was even going to get close to an hour show. Right? And let's see if I can do this ad real quick here. Let's see. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34. 34 points is what the Blues have as a team. Jack Hughes has 18 and Pasternak has 15. Those two players alone almost have as many points as the entire Blues team. All right. Hell, Jake Allen's got a better save percentage than Bennington, but I think he's only played one game too, so. I think Bennington is like 11th. He's 11th in goals against and save percentage. He's 11th in both. That I need to look that up. I think we're giving up just as many goals. Right? It's a good point. Let me look here. There's a way to do this. I just got to figure it out. Give me a moment to see if I can remember how to do this. Oh, here we go. Do it this way. Give me a moment. Let me. I'm looking here. Give me a second, bud. I want to see if you're right. I want to see if you're right. My thing kind of messed up on me. Give me just a moment. I'm getting there. So, through 7 games last season, okay, here we go. Goals against. We gave up 5. That's 10, 20. We gave up 30 goals. And that's 8 games. So I got to take 4 of them out. So we gave up 26 goals. Right? 26 goals through 7 games. And this season, adding the 5, we've given up 18. So you are correct. We gave up more goals last season than we did this season. Or no, hold on. 14. I got that on 14. We gave up 19. Right? We gave up. We've given up 19 this season, when we gave 26 up. So you are correct there. However, let's look at the other side of this. We scored 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18. We scored 19 goals while giving up 26. Hoffman wasn't on the team last season. Oh, yeah, when Hoffman was being benched? Okay, I missed that part. Jackson, Mississippi, you got a long drive, man. Be safe, bud. Please be safe. Please be safe. All right? Depending on how you're going to drive through, you might drive near my old, where I have family in West Point, Mississippi. I don't think you're going to drive through there, though, if you're in Jackson. Let me take a look at a map here real quick. I don't think you will if you're going through Jackson right now. Wow, you're going up to Jackson, Mississippi? That seems like a really weird way to go, John. I mean, why would you go that way? Why wouldn't you take, I can't see what that is. Why not just drive, yeah, you're going a weird way, bud. I mean, to me, oh no, when I see it, now that I look at it, no, okay. Now I see it. Going up that way, yeah, you'll miss West Point. You're further over. Now I see it. Okay. Now I see it. You're going right up 55. I got it. My bad. My bad, dude. My bad. Yeah, I kind of looked at the map wrong. Well, that was an hour, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Jose, I hope you're not too mad at me, bud. Look how many games we went last season where we gave up late goals in the last minutes and ended up losing. I think that's been addressed. The team is playing 60 minutes of hockey with the exception of the Vancouver game. I think you could also say with the exception of the Arizona game. They got blown out 6-2 in that game. I don't think they were ever in that game. All right? At least if I remember correctly. So, okay, guys, have a good one. See you tomorrow night. Aloha.
Who are you, Blues fan? We're bleeding blue with you. Let's